For guys like me, like every day is Memorial Day, you know? There isn't a day that goes by that I don't think about my friends and think about, you know, their families. And I used to think like, well, if somebody's not gonna come home, I hope it's me and not one of these guys.
We're here because we're supposed to be here. Because we owe it to them. Because we swore we'd never forget. Because we have a creed that says we'll leave no man behind. And if we did not take the time out to honor them, we'd be leaving them behind. If we did not work to support their Gold Star families, we'd be leaving them behind. And if we did not work hard to empower the veterans that served alongside them, we'd be leaving them behind.
So we came in on Blackhawks, and we were all sitting in the doors of the aircraft. As soon as we touched down, we would jump off as fast as we can. At that point, they knew you were there because you just flew 4 Blackhawks over their house. As soon as the door kicks, we would all run in, trying to find the guy. I come around the corner, and there's a girl standing right there. There's a 2-year-old girl standing right there. My muzzle's right in her face, and the contrast to that was very startling to me because I have kids, and this kid is just like any other kid, and this is where they're growing up. Everything is very evident at that moment in time how good we have it, and Memorial Day really sends a message that this is not for, we can't take this for granted. This doesn't just happen, and it happens because of these soldiers that we're honoring that day.
For Memorial Day, I think it's important for them to realize that it is specifically for the men and women who have died while serving their country.
For them to learn about and understand and appreciate the sacrifice that has been made so that they can live with freedoms.
They're serving this country to make this a safer place for them to grow, to have freedom of speech, to be able to go to school.
We haven't always been in this position that we're in, and we're here because we've been defending it, and we've been, you know, we fought for it.
To keep them safe, to protect their freedoms, for people that are just being born.
All of this comes at a cost, and too few of us have been willing to pay that cost, but they have paid it, and we do have an obligation to remember them.
On the last day, on a mountaintop in Afghanistan, when one of his fellow soldiers had been hit by an RPG and lay in an open field on the top of the mountain, exposed to enemy fire from 3 different directions, my son looked out and said, "I'm going to get him." He rushed out to get the young 22-year-old private, Ryan Bradbury. And he was driven back by fire from anywhere from 50 to 80 Taliban insurgents. But he could never give up. So he went out a 3rd time. And now it seemed every single Taliban gun was aimed at him because they all knew where he was at that point. And he was hit by an RPG and he was killed. And for that effort, he was awarded the Medal of Honor.
I don't know that I could ever put into words how much the Gold Star families mean to guys like me. I mean, They're basically my family.
They're still here. They have to continue mission and drive on with life. That, to me, is the ultimate sacrifice.
As empathetic as others can be, it's just different when somebody else has been through it. There's just a silence, but it's an understanding.
We have to step back and still honor our own son and the others who have fallen. The sacrifice is immense, but our liberty and our freedom is unmatchable in this world.
It's really important to veterans that other people notice days that are important to us.
Veterans exist around you all the time. Different walks of life. You probably see me in the city of Boston, but you would never know that I'm a veteran. The Marine Corps, and especially combat, taught me it's not about me. Especially leading Marines into combat, it's not about me, it's about them first. My goal is that the civilian side will have that same thought process as well.
I think it's important to respect them and to honor them for their duty and commitment.
Thanks for your service. I know people say that a lot, but for a little kid to say something like that, it's a special feeling.
When we don't have that connection to veterans and military in our everyday lives, it can really tend to separate us from what these people have done for us.
It's a two-way street. This isn't a one-way road. We can both help each other when we all come together. That's what I believe, wholeheartedly.
There are certain characteristics that are going to carry you in life, and the mainstays of the military, they're going to benefit you no matter what you do. You know, honor, courage, commitment, integrity.
Making our communities better, helping people that don't have enough.
To try to do what's morally right when no one's watching.
He's like the thousands of others, young men and women that volunteered to serve our country in a time of war. I remember talking about it with him, and I said, "You want to be a Marine?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "All right, can you be the Marine that, guards the president, wears the dress blues and looks cool?" He said, "No, Dad, I'm going to be in infantry, And I said, "Why?" And he said, "Because when I'm older, I'm going to say I served my country in a time of war."
My kids listen to the names that they read off of the dead, and I want to make that connection that those are real people, and they died, and they did it willingly, and they did it for us, all of us. They gave their lives so that we could have what we have. And so Memorial Day is very, very good at showing people what their town has given, and really by extension what this nation has given, so they can enjoy what they have.
And I think it allows us to kind of keep that person alive and that spirit alive. And I think really as a survivor, that's the best you can hope for, is that you're remembered.
It's a great feeling to know that my brothers and my sisters that have died have not died in vain. Their purpose in life was to show people how beautiful life is.